bothers me the most, and simplest way I can explain it, four were shot dead, uh, 13 were shot and injured. One permanently paralyzed in a wheelchair. But if you look at my fingers, okay, all like four were in this general area, but there was one of the 13 picked off like a rabbit, and that might bother me the most. At the time, 1970, in a poll, most people blamed the protesters, the rioters, that opinion. They don't know who gave the order to shoot. They claim it was self-defense or what? There's photos of people throwing back tear gas. They claim throwing rocks. That might disturb me the most, though. That one. Welcome to my channel. Glad you're here. I got some books to talk about, and I have some photos to pop up. Yeah, this is a souvenir from Kent State. Anybody who watches my channel knows I love to talk about the past. I had a good time in college. I didn't let college interfere with my education. No, but I enjoyed the 80s and then college again in the 90s for me. But Kent State, when I graduated high school, most of my friends went to University of Toledo or Bowling Green State University. I spent a few semesters at BGSU too, but I graduated from Kent State in 1986. And boy, it was a different time then, before cell phones, before AIDS was just hitting, before HIV. Like, I looked it up, around 1983. So we were just hearing about that. Remember those times? Remember how wild it was before? But so I went to Kent State because I'm rebellious. I'm sure you're all surprised to hear that. But I have somewhere in a tube, too lazy to find. I've shown it before, but I have a mock cover of May 4th. You can tell it looks, it's a copy of the paper there, the excellent paper. But it is a great campus. I graduated in '86, and then I returned a couple times about 5-6 years ago. Saw a concert in Akron. But my cousin still lives in Akron. So I know Akron, Cleveland, Toledo, Kent. And I chose to go to Kent, and I'm glad I did. When I went back, I wasn't there for the memorial. They didn't even have it in '86 or anything. When I went back, the memorial was beautiful. Show some pictures of it. And they start on Fridays, and people man the 24 hours. They man it with a candle, take turns, of course, because it's all weekend long. And I'm going to put some links below in the description box. So Nixon was, we were in Vietnam. Nixon promised to end the war, and then he announces they just invaded Cambodia. And that set off protests and riots across the country at college campuses. Kent State was no different. They were riotous. They were burning buildings. They burned down the ROTC building the day before. And Governor Rhodes, who was a Republican, I'm going to pepper this with controversies and conspiracies rather. It's kind of it's been investigated and timed out and mapped out and everything, and it's really interesting to me. Okay, the first easiest way to visualize, the four were dead, of course, and I'll get to them. But the 13 were actually shot. The easiest way is to kind of look at a hand. You know, there's 4 in this general vicinity. I believe Jeffrey Miller, the one you see photographed a lot, laying on the ground bleeding from his mouth. He was shot and bled out. He was 300 feet away, you know, something like that. But now all the memorials have like 4 corners of steel pillars and their name, you know. There's still, the pagoda has a bullet hole in it, a picture of that up here. There's another statue that has a bullet hole in it. But so there was a model they discovered in the White House of the campus, and you see the Liberty Bell, the bell there all the time in photos. That's like a valley, and it's by the art building and some other buildings. The dorms that I lived in are up the big hill. I lived in the male dorm, Duncan, and then I lived in the co-ed dorm, which is great, the artist dorm. I was a theater major, psychology minor. There's some, so I've read this book too, James Michener, Kent State, and there's some photos you might not see online. Have you heard about The Flower and the Gun from Alison Krauss? She took this photo after she put a flower in a barrel of a rifle, and if you notice closely, the soldier is flashing a peace sign, and this is what Alison looks like right here. Another photo of Jeff Miller. He's the one who was shot in the mouth. He's way over on the right in a headband, giving the finger twice. See him way over here. But very interesting book, a lot of great photos. Here's the one of all 4 of them I just went by. You know, Bill Schroeder was, now the 5th student is in a wheelchair at the bottom, but the 4 are up here. Bill Schroeder was that's the guy in the wheelchair, with Allison, Deborah, Jeffrey. Bill Schroeder was an ROTC student walking to campus. Here's one of Allison and her dog. It's a great book. I was really impressed when I went back for the memorial. They have it's like a walk. It's not underground. They have a lot of flowers, and then the museum is really impressive too. And they did a lot of improvements to campus. My dorms are still there, but they put new windows on. Before cell phones, before computers, before the internet. They were burning buildings down, smashing windows and looting all weekend, and setting the fire to the ROTC building because the National Guard was there. You know, can you imagine? Here's one of a tank going down the street. Can you see that? Yeah. You know, soldiers with rifles walking around on campus. They finally, you know, called off classes. But classes were going on, obviously, and then a lot of the professors get credit. Again, links below, and some documentaries on Kent State. But it was really a cool campus to be on. You know, it happened in 1970, so you know they got a lot of funding. And, remember the libraries, 13 floors tall, and Ed Skeller was down there, and we drank a lot of beer back then primarily. And I remember also going to state stores to buy Everclear to pour in watermelon, sliced watermelons, and everything. It was crazy back then.